Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview and Domestic Economic Data Roadmap for the week beginning Monday, August 1st and ending Friday, August 5th, 2016. Hope you're having a good weekend and a good month of July just wrapped up here. Obviously, things have been a little flat. Here's the ES. This is the S&P in futures form. Daily chart. You can see, look how flat it's been for like 8 days in a row now. It's that end of July doldrums that we often get. Obviously, July started out with a little bit of a bang to the upside, but other than that, it's been very flat for a bit here. So hopefully that peels off here soon. Let's take a real quick look back at July of last year. Obviously, right before the dip in August, it was pretty slow at the end of the month. Somewhere in August, things usually pick up. August historically is one of the most positive months of the year. It wasn't last year, obviously, but just historically and statistically, just so you know, September is the only month of the year that averages a negative return in the market. So to be aware of that. Let's take a look at some of the key stuff that we look at here. Crude oil at 41.35 dipped this week, closed up 20 cents on Friday. Gold up 50 cents, still hanging between two key static trend lines. Here's the S&P cash index. Not much to see there. NDX was up 8 on Friday. By the way, S&P was up 3. The NDX up 8 and very near a breakout to new highs, finally. As the rest of the market has mixed results in that area. The S&P is obviously at new highs. SOX here back to new highs. Was down 3 on Friday for end of month. The biotechs, on the other hand, look at this pattern. This is a great solid breakout pattern. Nowhere near highs for the year, but it was up 19 on Friday. You know, as go banks and biotechs, so goes the market. It's the old expression. It'll be interesting to see what this leads to. VIX rolled over again on Friday, closing at 11.87. I believe that's the lowest close of the year. That is not a positive for the market, by the way. That's one negative sign out there for sure. We did get that 10-day trend at one point back at 0.85. That was a sell signal on the market. We haven't rolled over from that. The 10-day moving average is back to 1.05 now. Nasdaq volume on Friday was 1.8, and if you look in general, it was decently improved last week. That's because of earnings. A lot of stocks with earnings would trade heavy volume the next day. Didn't really relate to anything in terms of market movement, obviously. Now, keep in mind as we head into August, we're past the July statements printing. Some of the summer holidays are over. People on vacation, meaning we can get back to work. I was on the road most of last week on vacation, so there were no market previews on YouTube, but we're back to it now. Everybody's back and ready to go. Nasdaq advanced decline ratio literally 8, positive 8. 8 more stocks up than down on the Nasdaq on Friday. On the New York, however, it was much better. 7 positive, 759. Google, big solid day after earnings, closing at 25, up 25.50, almost a new closing high. Apple down a couple pennies after having its gap up the day before on earnings. Amazon, well, why not? New closing high on Amazon up $6.20. Netflix lost 40 cents. And here's a look at Tesla, which also climbed. By the way, I got to drive the Tesla SUV this weekend, or last weekend while I was away. Absolutely fantastic car. What a great little vehicle. Might have to get myself one of those. All right, let's look at the ES. Let's switch to 10-minute candles so we can see the whole week. Look how flat that is. I mean, the whole week basically in a 20-point range on the ES. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Really boring. NASDAQ side, a little more positive. Obviously, when you've got Apple gapping up one day and Google gapping up another and Amazon up, that's what helps. But mostly it was earnings gaps, not really tradable. It's a great week to be on vacation, by the way. That's why I often do it that particular week. All right, so now what do we have to look forward to in the week ahead? Let's go through the economic calendar. Monday is, as I said, August 1st. Construction spending and ISM index 30 minutes in. Tuesday, an hour before the bell, personal income and spending, PCE prices. And then in the afternoon, auto and truck sales. On Wednesday, 7 a.m., MBA mortgage index. 8:15 a.m., ADP employment change. 10 a.m., ISM services. And the 10:30 a.m. crude oil inventories. That's the weekly number. Thursday, challenger job cuts 2 hours before the open. Initial and continuing jobless claims an hour before the open. Factory orders 30 minutes in. Natty gas an hour in. That's the weekly number. And finally, Friday, here's the big one. Got non-farm payrolls with unemployment, and you've got trade balance. Those are two really big numbers coming out on Friday. We could get a little excitement, although, again, it's still a summer Friday. So just for August, the thing to kind of prepare yourself for, things do tend to pick up a little better than the end of July. Fridays are still usually a waste of time because people go on long extended weekends for summer. Mondays are hit or miss, so most of the action's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It is the first day of the new month, so the statements are printed. So, they can all get back to work now and see what they want to do with the markets for the rest of the year, essentially. This is a good point. Remember, once the federal budget hits and everything, all those talks go on in September and October. That's why the market tends to move around a lot in September and October, by the way. And so we will see how that goes in an election year, but that's going to be the driving factor here on the markets moving forward. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week. We will have previews, 3 more previews this week as the week progresses.